Hey, welcome to Last Minute Betting with the Sports Nuts. Bob and Mike here. I'm Bob. That's Mike. Going to talk little sports with y'all. It's a Monday. It's National Championship Monday. Woo! We're excited about this game.
Check out this shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Randall for grabbing this for me and the OddsJam crew. Had a blast at the Final Four and got to see an absolute classic with Duke and North Carolina.
Yeah, fabulous, man. That was fantastic. I'm very happy for him. But now we get down to the nitty-gritty, and let's just talk a little national championship.
Hey, and real quick, Bob, another shout out to Ina for the cups once again, because I drink out of this thing every single day. And for the hat, the shirt, man, they treat us good here at OddsJam, Bobby. Cheers to that.
They sure do. All right. Let me take care of a little business here. Sign up and click the links below for the best sports books in your state. You need multiple sports books in order to be a profitable sports bettor. And the OddsJam Partner Program, there's a link there below where if you share it with your friends, you get 20% of all the revenue that is generated. And don't forget the 3 free bets from OddsJam. Just go to oddsjam.com, sign up free for they're profitable on top of that. It's great, man. OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company. Okay, we're going to talk a little NCAA Championship to start it off. This is what it's all about. It's down to Kansas and North Carolina. I already told you earlier, North Carolina ain't got a prayer.
I know you've said that, and you've given absolutely zero reason to back that up. You could have said the same thing against Duke. As a matter of fact, you did. Now you're just riding whatever train it is you're riding. At this point, you don't even know what company owns the train station or who runs it or what. You're just jumping on any random train you can find, and I don't understand
it. Reading Railroad. Here's why I think this, okay? Kansas is a deeper team. With Baycott and the injury for North Carolina, I think that's really going to hurt them. They
should have hurt them down the stretch against Duke.
Their starters have played 1,000 minutes in this tournament. Their bench has played 100. I think it's
one more game, Bob. You can throw all that crap out the window, man. It's one more game. These guys will dig down to whatever they need to dig down to get to finish this thing off. If you're North Carolina and you're worried about them running out of gas, Bob, you're insane. I mean, you are the absolute epitome of a sports nut.
Okay, but the only thing I could tell you is, and there's legitimacy to this, I'm not the only guy that has said this, okay? Jay Billis has said it, and other people, okay?
Well, then you're just piggybacking off of
hey, I'm talking now. You got to be quiet because you attacked me, okay? Here's the bottom line, okay? The Kansas is a very athletic club. They are more athletic than Duke. I think it's going to pose a major problem. And Randall and I talked about it earlier. Randall said there's no way that Kansas wins by 1-4, okay? It's either Kansas wins by 10 or North Carolina's going to win. It's not going to be a close game if Kansas wins. And I agree with that. You disagree?
I also don't think Kansas will have an answer to lock up Caleb Love. I think he is an absolute stud. He is feeling it. He's the kind of guy that you want in these championship moments that can hit a big shot, hit a big three, hit some big free throws, and he's doing it, and he's done it. I am more worried about Kansas not really having anybody to play throughout this tournament, Bob. Their closest game was against Creighton. They're honestly a little lucky that they didn't, I'm not going to say lose that game, but they're definitely lucky that that game didn't turn out a little bit differently. But other than that, they've played nobody and blown them out. North Carolina's already played a Big 12 team in Baylor, and we're wiping the floor with them. I know that Baylor came back and forced overtime. That was because of a bogus call on Manic. Shouldn't have even have been ejected from that game. But nonetheless, they won the game, and they moved on. So I'm not worried at all in this.
Okay. There wasn't a bogus call, and who cares? Bottom line is we got the championship game tonight. You and I disagree. You know what? Let's just put 20 on it. I'm taking Kansas. You take North Carolina. You pay me tomorrow.
I'm not paying you. We're not supposed to be betting, Bob. What are you doing?
I'm
Trying
betting
to make money. That tells me your sports bets are doing so bad you're trying to side bet to make up and compensate for
Dude,
it.
my
Bob,
bets are fine, Mike. My bets are fine. All right, let's go.
You're just going to dig yourself
Let's go to
into
the Masters. Hush. Let's go to the Masters. Tiger. There was a crowd out there watching him practice today. Just hit shots. The excitement is building, but he is not making a decision yet. He is keeping people at bay. And I'm telling you, man, if he plays, he probably doesn't have a chance to win. But if he could even finish in the top 20 or contend, that will be huge, don't you think?
Hey, right now, your boy Rom positive EV, Bob.
Okay, we're talking about Tiger, okay? The greatest golfer who ever lived. And the excitement.
I'm
I
just
asked you a
telling you where
question.
some value's at, buddy.
Can you answer me my question that I ask you? It'd be a good interviewee here. Do you think Tiger, the excitement is built? Do you think that he can make any kind of impact?
No.
Okay. And why do you think that?
I mean, we just talked about this the other day. He's not going to come through and win. Come on. You don't really think he's going to come out and win this thing.
Okay, once again, make an impact is not winning. I said top 20. Do you think he could be in the hunt?
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't.
That's probably true because one of the reasons why is that course is so hilly and he's going to be walking downhill. That is going to be tough on his leg, believe it or not. That's a big deal. All right. Let's see what else is happening. Last night, obviously, South Carolina wins the women's championship. They just dominated that game, Mike.
Yeah, they smoked them. That was the matchup I kind of wanted to see, but truth be told, maybe it wasn't the matchup we needed to see because South Carolina had absolutely no issues. And in my opinion, they pretty well had that game in hand the whole way through. I mean, it kind of reminded me of that Kansas-Villanova game in a sense because South Carolina was pretty well on them early and often.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No two ways about it.
And, hey, Gino loses his first national championship game. But, hey, South Carolina's 2-0 in national championships now. So, there you go.
Pretty cool stuff. All right. Let's just check very quick. I want the NHL tonight. We have one major matchup, and it's Toronto at Tampa Bay. And believe it or not, Mike, I think Toronto plays at Florida tomorrow night. So the Maple Leafs have back-to-back games against two major teams in the Eastern Conference. This could have a little bit of an impact on the standings, don't you think?
I do. I think that Tampa Bay, ultimately, I like them in this game. I found some value on them on the money line. I think they can win this game outright. And Toronto, for me, I've not bought in yet. I'm still higher on Tampa Bay for not just because they're the two-time defending Stanley Cup champs. Every time you think that this team is, they can't win back-to-back. There's no way they're going to win 3 in a row. Well, here they are with an opportunity. And if you're telling me they don't look every bit as good as any team going right now, you're crazy. And, I mean, they are the real deal.
I agree 100%. On the flip side, though, they are battling Toronto for playoff position. And Boston is right there, too. Sitting there with 91 points, Toronto and Tampa Bay with 93. These are two big games for Toronto. If they lose them both, they could be sitting in the wild card.
Yeah. And ultimately, Bob, I have not, Matthews has been banged up at times. I'm just not sure how much I can buy into the Toronto team. I know that Florida doesn't play very good defense either, but you know what? I think I trust Florida a lot more than I trust Toronto right now, and I certainly trust Tampa Bay a lot more than anybody right now in the East.
And then let me just shoot one more at you from last night. Leon Draisaitl got his 50th goal and his 100th point. So that's pretty big news. Do you think he's got a shot at 60?
I mean, at the rate that he's going right now, it's hard to argue that he doesn't have a shot at it. I mean, Edmonton is a lethal offensive team, and when him and McDavid get going, both of them eat.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, they just pile up the stat sheet.
All right, let's talk a little positive EV, Mike. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to talk a little positive EV and bet tracker. And by the way, folks, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to do a little OddsJam demo in here. And let me get to the positive EV page. I'm going to refresh this real quick and see where we're at. Great betting tool can be used to your advantage. As you can see here by these check marks, I've already played some plays. We've got this Kevin Porter that I've already made a play on. We did some things for tomorrow. I've got Brand Marchand over 0.5 player assist, minus 122. The OddsJam perfect line, plus 100 on BetMGM and Caesars. Mike, I played this morning. It's still sitting at plus 100 all day long.
Yeah, great odds on that play. I took that one as well, Bob, and I'll give you another one that I took. I've actually got Brandon Saad over this half a goal. I mean, I got this thing at plus 220 on FanDuel. Brandon Saad, they're playing the Coyotes, an absolutely bad team. Brandon Saad gets a goal his last game. Obviously, I think it's important for him to get going. I think he will get a goal tonight.
Toronto Maple Leafs at the Tampa Bay Lightning. We're just talking about that game. This one popped up. Mitch Marner over 2.5 player shots on goal. Minus 153 is the OddsJam. Perfect line. Minus 124 on FanDuel. Mike, I'm going to add that right now. The Brandon Saad play did not come up on positive EV, but if you want me to, I can show these folks how to get there. What do you say?
I say do that, and then go ahead and show them Austin Matthews as well. We've got him scoring 1 goal tonight. If he does, obviously it's one of them over half a goals. We're getting that at minus 105.
So I clicked on the Tampa Bay Toronto game, and you go here to player goals, and you just scroll down. There's Austin Matthews over 0.5 goals, minus 105 on DraftKings. We're going to add that. This is going to come off as a normal bet. You'll see when I show you the bet tracker here in a second. That OddsJam perfect line is minus 148. All right, now let's go to
good value on that pick.
Let's go to the St. Louis Coyotes game, and once again, player goals. You said Brandon Saad. There he is. Over 0.5 goals. It's at plus 210 now on FanDuel. So it's gone down since you hit it.
Maybe that's why I've posted these picks on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, all via OddsJam, courtesy of OddsJam. So on Reddit as well. So get on any social media platform, look for my picks. They're all courtesy of OddsJam.
OddsJam perfect line on that was plus 176. Okay, now to the bet tracker, and you can see that I've added the Brandon Saad bet, and I've added the Austin Matthews. There's the Mitch Marner bet, and as you can see here, these are all pending bets. Now these are showing normal bets because I went into the game to make that bet. These came off of the positive EV page. You could see how much stake there is, what's the potential payout, so on and so forth. And then if you come over here and you click on the OddsJam logo, you'll actually see there's my profit. I have $215 in pending bets. My return on investment of completed bets is 4.7%, courtesy of Mike's positive EV plays in the NBA. I'm telling you, those have been on fire, but no NBA games tonight, which, by the way, this morning I misspoke. I thought there were. So percentage of place bets that beat the closing line value. If you're over 50%, you're in good shape. I'm at 55. Here I am in week 12, and I'm going after week 3. I'm not very far behind, about $90 right now. And profit by sportsbook, points bet number 1 for me. By sport, as you could see, profit by sport, Mike. Basketball overtook hockey with these positive EV bets in the last week. Can you believe that?
If you'll scroll up and show your bets again there, scroll up. I'm going to go ahead and let people say, okay, so right now we are at $571 total profit. Our ROI is 42.3%, and our percentage of beating the closing line value, we're above 70% now.
That's positive EV plays, folks. And you can see
and
here.
Hey, I also want to point out that, remember, we've only been putting $10 on these bets. So
right.
Ultimately, we could be up a lot more money if we put more money on these plays. Right now, we're sticking with about $10, $20 per bet. I think that's a fair, and for most people, I think they can relate to that. So I say let's keep rolling with that and see where we can get ourselves at.
All right, profit by bet type. As you can see, the positive EV outweighs the normal because I've been doing more positive EV plays. All right, that is the bet tracker. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to go back to Mike here. And now it is time for us to go and talk National League Central. This is our last division in baseball that we have to pick and talk about. And I'm going to start off, Mike, with our Cardinals. The Cardinals, we've got Pujols back. Yachty and Wainwright probably going to be there last year. Definitely going to be Albert's last year. But you've got a lineup, Mike, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys with 20 or more home runs and 8 guys who had double figures in home runs. So we know the Cardinals can hit for power. Here's the problem, Mike. They strike out a lot. Goldschmidt, 139. O'Neill, 177. Carlson, 149. DeYoung, 124. Bader, 132. This is where I think Pujols can help them. If he can get these guys to start walking more, you're going to see a completely different offense in St. Louis. What do you think?
Well, speaking on the Cardinals specifically, let's not forget this was the same roster last year, but let's make no mistake about it. It took a historic end of the season streak to even bite and sniff getting into that play-in game in which they lost to the Dodgers. So let's not act like this is a lineup that has some kind of true experience right now, Bob. They're a team right now, when you last look at them, they are way too streaky to trust, and they do not have the pitching to keep up with the big dogs. And they hit a lot of home runs, no doubt about it. They're going to hit the crap out of the ball, and they're going to put up numbers. But that does not translate with this team. That does not translate to enough wins.
Okay. All right. To win the division. All right. So let's go to the Brewers, who are the favorite. All right. You've still got Yelich. You've got McCutchen, who's actually projected to bat cleanup. You've got Lorenzo Cain, Colton Wong, Hunter Renfroe on
That's
the
a good
team.
pickup.
Do you know that Hunter Renfroe hit 33 home runs last year?
Yes, he's a good hitter, power hitter, Bob.
But struck out 142 times.
Well, yeah.
They don't have as many high strikeout guys, and they walk a little bit more. As a matter of fact, Christian Yelich had 86 walks last year. Then we look at their pitching staff, Mike, with Burns and Woodruff and Peralta, Hauser, and Lauer. I think they definitely have the advantage over every team in the division right now as a starting staff, don't you?
Yes, 100%. And I like that Andrew McCutchen pickup. You know, putting him as a DH will be good for them. And I also think that Yelich is the key in terms of his health. And will he be able to go back to what the Christian Yelich that we all have come to know? That will be that will be the only thing holding them back from winning this division, because they have the pitching. And at the top of their order, I just think they've got guys that I can trust a little bit more than a Tommy Edman and the Cardinals and guys like that. The Cardinals and the Brewers are no doubt the two top teams in this division, but they just the Brewers just have too good a pitching.
Okay, and I can't let this go. Okay, you used to say the same thing about Colton Wong, and Colton Wong's now the leadoff hitter for them. It doesn't matter. Okay, here's the bottom line. Here's what the Brewers have that the Cardinals don't. Josh Hader. They've got a legitimate closer. The Cardinals don't. That's why I think the Brewers will win the division. And then we have the Cubs and the Reds and the Pirates. The Pirates are just, I mean, they don't have hardly anybody.
Well, them and the Reds. I mean, as a Cardinal fan specifically, the fact that they lost Suarez, that's a really good thing for the Cardinals, because he absolutely raked against Cardinal pitching and had insane numbers against the Cardinals. So losing him helps a team like the Cardinals and a lot of teams in that division. Cincinnati has gone backwards, and remember, going into last season, Cincinnati was a team that a lot of people were looking at as maybe a potential sleeper in sneaking in as a wild card, or maybe contending in that division potentially. Now coming into this year, they've done a complete flip-flop. They have absolutely gotten a lot worse than what the Brewers and the Cubs as well. The Cubs have gotten better than the Reds now. Who would have thought that with all the guys they got rid of last year?
Right. Exactly. But the Reds, they did pick up Tommy Pham. They do have Moustakas. They do have Joey Votto, and they do have Jonathan India. The Cubs now, that's our arch rivals. You've got Ortega, Schwindel, Contreras, Happ, Suzuki, Hayward, Patrick Wisdom. That's a minor league guy from the Cardinals, man. He hit 27 home runs last year, but he struck out 172 times.
No, that's why he's in the bottom of the lineup.
Horner and Madrigal, but they've always got Kyle Hendricks, and they've got Marcus Stroman. Okay, so I think the Cubs are going to be a little bit. I think the Cubs are going to be a little bit.
Puts them ahead of the Reds is the pitching right there of Hendricks and Stroman.
Okay, and I agree with that, but as I finish my point here, I think that is going to be enough for them to contend for a wild card spot. So that being said, let's go to our picks for the NL Central, and I'll go first. I'm just going to tell you, it's Milwaukee, St. Louis, Chicago in third, Cincinnati in fourth, Pittsburgh in fifth. What do you got, Mike?
Yeah, I've got the exact same picks. Milwaukee in first, Cardinals second, Cubs third, Reds fourth, Pirates, unfortunately, they're sitting at the bottom.
Yeah, they sure
now,
are.
the good news for both the Brewers and Cardinals and even Cubs is they're going to get to beat up on both of those teams a little bit. I don't think the NL Central is a very strong division this year, so there's a potential that one of those teams could get two teams in the playoffs, which we'll get to that tomorrow in our predictions for wild card. But I do think there's potential for two of these teams to get in.
Okay. All right. So let's move on. I'm just going to move on to the locks. It's time. First off, let me tell you what my record is. It's 9-10. All right. Now, it's okay. It's no big deal because I'm just going up against him, and I don't really care if I beat him or not. So I'm going to give you my lock of the night first. Okay. And that is I'm going with it again. I don't care what anybody says. Okay. I'm doing this, whether you guys like it or not. Okay. My lock of the night is going to be, I'm taking the Blues. I'm taking a -1.5 against Arizona. There is absolutely no way they should have learned their lesson after going to Canada and realizing that they can play with the big dogs in the West. Now let's whip up on a terrible team. Blues -1.5. Let's book it. Actually, it might be -2.5, but I did that the other night, and I'm not doing that tonight. All right, Mike, what's your lock?
I'm going with a player prop for my lock, and it's on the big game tonight. The big game. National championship, baby. Caleb Love, got to play on him over 16.5 points. Book it, man. Book it
Okay.
all over.
All right.
Feeling the love. I am feeling the love.
Give me a final score. Come on. Give me a final score.
Final score. No, I ain't giving you a final score. I have no idea. Here's what I'll give you. UNC. Money line. Who's riding?
No, you ain't riding that. You got to take the 4.5.
Oh, I already took. Yeah, 4.5 is a no doubter for me.
This game, you got to take the 4.5.
Don't be surprised if UNC pulls this out, man.
You're confident in that?
I'm very confident in it. I feel really good about the way that team is playing right now. They're more battle tested than Kansas is.
You know, if you can get the 4.5 right now, it looks like 4 is the number. Minus.
I already got it. It.
Okay, that's fine. I'm talking about right now, Mike. Minus 105 at DraftKings, FanDuel, and PointsBet. And if you took Kansas minus 4, you can get it minus 110 on Caesars. So, 6 one, half a dozen the other. Let's look at the points. Did they go up or down? Actually went down a little bit. We're at 151. Under, and all the way up to 152. So just depending on where you're trying to place your bet right now.
Yeah, lean that completely. I'm not touching the over under. It was at 153. I said lean it at 153 on the under. It's gone down a little bit. Once again, it's hard to know with these two teams kind of in opposite directions with the style they play and the way that the over and unders hit. It's a national championship game. I'm steering clear of it.
Okay. All right. We're both steering clear of it, okay? And you heard Mike's lock. You heard my lock. We're going to be back tomorrow night, folks. Let me tell you what else we got going on. We actually have some early betting for tomorrow. We'll have a video out later on this OddsJam YouTube channel. Please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would appreciate it. This is Last Minute Betting with the Sports Nuts. We'll see you tomorrow night. Jayhawks are winning, man. You know that.
No, I've got North Carolina, man. You've talked all that trash. Fade Bob. Never tail Bob when he's going against me.
Should always tell me. I'm much more experienced.